Hello everyone and welcome back to the videos. In this video I'm talking all about preschool, how to do preschool at home. I'm going to share our preschool learning binder here, and I just want to talk about the sweet preschool years. So let's get started. So preschool is ages 3 and 4. Some people cover preschool in 2 years for 3 and 4 years old, or some people just do preschool for 1 year. And they'll do it either at 3 years old or at 4 years old. And it just depends on the child. Some children need 2 years of preschool. Some need just 1 and they're ready to do kindergarten work. But I think preschool is such a sweet time in which you can focus on the core, reading, writing, and math. But mainly you want to focus on good habits, on character training, on following directions, focus and concentration, because those good habits carry onward. And there are many countries that score really high worldwide academically that don't start school until like 7 years old, and that lets the rest of the world know that just having like 8 hours of academics or 6 hours of academics for kids that are really young doesn't necessarily mean that is going to create successful children or children that are smarter in the future. I think in the early years we need to focus on good habits, on good character, on teaching kids about the Lord. But there is a window of opportunity, so I don't delay school. I do a little bit of school at a time, and so you all know that my kids were reading by 3 years old. It wasn't hours and hours a day. We worked like 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes we only worked like 3 days a week. And it was such a sweet time, bonding and just having fun. And then for the rest of the day, they were out playing, building forts, Play-Doh, kinetic sand, water bins, just having the time to be a child and to have fun and play. And so I am a proponent, I am an advocate for early childhood education, because I know how wonderful it is to introduce children to academics, but I do it in a very gentle way, and I only do it for a very short period of time. And then I just let children play, and I'll let children just explore, and I really do focus on habits and character training and a lot of that when they're little, because it carries on and it builds a foundation for children. So for preschool, I always have like a little preschool board that I do, and I love using flashcards for preschool. And so for preschool, a lot of basics can be taught with flashcards. So I have, for example, the letter flashcards, and for flashcards for letters, I always focus on the sounds first, because when children learn their letter sounds first and they start blending those sounds, then they start to read, they can start reading. And so I just focus on flashing those letter sounds, and then they also need to learn their letter names. So I do teach letter names through songs or through different ways. But I have letters in here. I have numbers 1 through 20 for preschool. They need to know their colors. They need to know their shapes. If they don't already know their body parts, they need to know their body parts. I created these flashcards a long time ago by just like printing pictures off the internet and just on index cards and taping them on. So this has to be like at least 12, 13 years old. I like teaching months of the year, days of the week, and let's see what else I have here. I love using this BrainQuest smart cards, and these are just like little questions for ages 3 and 4. And it'll just ask different questions that make children think, and they're fun. And I love doing that once in a while. And those are mainly the flashcards that I use. I have other ones, vocabulary flashcards and first words and things like that I use. But these are mainly the ones that I use. I always like to keep different pointers on here to make things interesting. Kids can learn so much with flashcards. They learn very fast with flashcards. So our flashcard sessions are only like maybe 5 minutes a day. And I love it. So that's our flashcards. And in terms of book work, I done a lot of research on preschool work and what is the purpose of the preschool years, And at first, when I was looking for curriculum, I just found a lot of busy work. And I started doing a lot of research on the standards and what is needed to really prepare a child for kindergarten. And I found myself not finding anything at all, and just having to create my own things. And that's how I created our little preschool binder. A lot of you have actually bought them in forms of workbooks. But basically, it's just the core. It's math, preschool math. We have literacy, writing, and reading. You could just say reading and literacy together. The literacy work that I have here for preschool prepares the child for reading. So I focus on letter sounds, letter recognition, phonemic awareness, and things like that. But it is really just a sweet time. Everything that I created doesn't really require writing because kids are in preschool and a lot of them are not ready for writing yet. So it's just coloring, drawing lines, tracing, things like that. And they love it and it's fun and they're learning a ton. And a lot of them fly through this like binder. They really do fly through it because it's very age appropriate. And at the same time, it meets the standards and it gets children ready for kindergarten. In fact, if kids do this work in this binder, they will be able to not only thrive in the kindergarten year, but they're going to be ahead of their classmates because they're going to be already reading. If they finish everything in here, they're going to know all of the basics that are going to be further learned in kindergarten. So they're going to be doing really well instead of just going into the kindergarten year and kind of not having that foundation and that background. A lot of preschool workbooks don't have any type of standards, or they don't have any type of goals that they're trying to reach, and this is like a mumbo jumbo of different things. But I was very, very intentional on what I wanted to teach and what I wanted my children to really have a good foundation on for these early years. And I created it in such a way that it's really easy to use, and all of my kids have loved it. I created this, wow, like I want to say like 12 years ago, because my 14-year-old was like 2 when she started doing some of these things, and she was ready. So there's some kids that are 2 years old that can do some of these. If you have an advanced 2-year-old, maybe 2.5, almost 3, they can do some of this too. It just depends. I would wait until 3, 4 to do it, but there are some 2-year-olds that are ready. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you closer now to the preschool binder. The preschool binder has all of the foundation things. It has math, it has literacy to get ready for reading, it has writing, all the basics for writing, it has reading. So it's going to get children from reading to reading phonetic sentences by the end. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it closer and show you a look inside of the binder. All right, let's take a look inside of the Preschool Essentials binder. First thing that I have here is the preschool standards. And it's very important to have some type of roadmap. What do you want your children to be learning? What should they be learning for preschool? And so this is what this is, and it has 4 dates for assessments. So when you assess them, you would be able to write some notes, write the date. It has measurement, colors and shapes. It has math, pre-writing, reading, vocabulary, and social, position and direction, time, logic, writing. I have also given you a page here that's blank so that you can write down the things you want your children to be learning that year. Some things that you want your children to learn. Let's move on now to some posters that I have here included in this binder are letters. All of these posters are things your children should be learning for preschool. Letters A through Z. And you want them to know the letters in order and out of order, letter names, and also letter sounds as well. Numbers 1 through 10, numbers 1 through 20. We have colors and we have shapes. I also use these posters for the assessments so that I know that children are really knowing all of the things that they need to know. And these are all the basics for preschool. Let's move on now to preschool beginner math and what's in this book. So in this section of the binder, we're going to have counting, shapes, number recognition, same or different, patterns, measurement, and positions. So in this area here, you're going to have everything that the child needs to know for preschool math. It starts off with numbers 1 through 10.
It has a lot of visual discrimination because visual discrimination is important for preschool. It starts off with counting 1 and 2s only. 1 apple, 2 strawberries, 1 peach, and then it progresses throughout the book, but it starts off really simple at first. It goes over top or bottom. This is going over positions. It's going to start off with the number 1. It's going to go all the way to 10 so that they're able to really recognize that number among other numbers. So they're supposed to color here all of the number 1s. And here they're supposed to color all of the squares. Then it's going to be continuing to count 1 and 2s, more positioning. There's patterns. What I love about this book is that it's really, the progression that it goes is very gentle. I created it when my 14-year-old was 2 years old, and she absolutely loved it. And it doesn't require any writing. It just requires coloring, circling, drawing lines. And my kids really love it. A lot of kids have used it and really reported that their kids love it. And they look forward to doing their preschool math every day. It's something that is very age appropriate. And see here now they're moving on to counting up to 3s now. So it's very gentle, but it goes and it keeps getting harder and harder. And my kids and a lot of kids have really loved this preschool math book. So now let's move on to preschool literacy. So for preschool literacy, this section, this binder, is going to have letter recognition, beginning letter sounds, middle letter sounds, ending letter sounds, uppercase and lowercase letters in alphabet order. So this is getting the child ready for reading. You need to be able to know your letter sounds, and you need to be able to know your letters and you know them well, know phonemic awareness, and this is what this does. Starts off with the letters. They have to find the letters among all different fonts, uppercase and lowercase letters. Then they have to find the letters, find the pictures that sound like the letter A. Then they're practicing finding letters among other letters that look alike, which is very important, like the B and the P and the B's, the A and the C's. They confuse a lot of these letters, and this is practice for them, really focusing on letter recognition. Uppercase and lowercase matches beginning letter sounds. It also has alphabet order so that they're able to know what comes next in the alphabet. Then it goes on to the letter B, and it goes all the way like that onto letter Z. And they're able to practice they're really gonna get a lot of practice with their letter sounds. It's gonna get them ready for reading. As they progress, there's going to be rhyming activities and other phonemic awareness activities as well. Move on to preschool writing now. So for preschool writing, I start off really gentle with a letter order that I created that's very simple. It starts off with the uppercase letters. It starts off with the L. All of those letters that have horizontal and vertical lines is what I start off with. And it's a progression. So if you've already done the letter I, you surely can do the T, and you surely can do the E, and it goes on. It's very working on the letters you've done before. As they move on from horizontal and vertical, they're going to move on to circles and letters with curves. As they progress through the book now, they're going to be doing numbers, and they're also going to be focusing on uppercase and lowercase letters at that point. Once they've done that gentle introduction with the uppercase letters, they're moving on to uppercase and lowercase. There's going to be tons of practice here. Even towards the end of the book, they're going to continue practicing the uppercase and the lowercase letters. And then lastly, what we have here is a reading instruction section. So this is going to take your child to reading basic sentences. All of my preschoolers have learned to read by the age of 3, and this is how we did it. We used this program here, and in order for them to be able to complete this program or even start it, they need to know their letter sounds. You want to be able to flash the letter sounds every day. A, B, K, D, and so on. Once they know their letter sounds in order and out of order, they can start the lessons in elemental phonics. I think if children learn to read in preschool, when they get to kindergarten, they are going to do so well. They're just going to be thriving in kindergarten. and not struggling. Here's a progression chart. By lesson 20, they're reading words. By lesson 44, they're reading sentences. You give them a sticker for each lesson. It really motivates them. And the lessons are short. The vowels are in red because when you elongate the vowels, you're able to hear what you're reading. As they progress, they're going to be going to the most common word families, and they're going to be ending with phonetic sentences by the end. And so it's a really good progressive program, and a lot of kids have learned how to read with elemental phonics. It really is just going to take them through those basics. So this is the preschool binder that I've created, and it's such a great binder. I highly recommend it. It's going to have everything you need from math, literacy, writing, and reading all in one binder. It doesn't take a long time, 20 to 30 minutes every day, or even just 3 times a week. I'm going to link all of it below. I also have these CVC flashcards, and all of it actually comes with our Preschool Essentials course that I'll explain to you right now.
All right, so I hope you have enjoyed a look inside of the binder. I did want to tell you about my preschool course. I created it, gosh, a long time ago. And in the preschool course, you're going to see these CVC flashcards that are included in the course. And these are great because I love playing games with my kids with these when I was teaching them reading. So there's lots of games in the preschool course with these CVC flashcards. And the course brings all of this in it. It brings downloads for everything that you saw in the binder, but also I walk you through everything for reading, writing, and math. Everything that your preschooler needs to learn, activities that I do at home. I talk about routines and schedules. I talk about circle time, how to do circle time with your kids at home. And I just break it down and I share with you everything that I've done with my kids since they were little. And I have done preschool 5 times already. I can't even believe it. But I just share all the things that I've done with my kids and all that I've learned. If you're able to do this preschool at home and you're able to go through this material, your kids are going to be doing so good in kindergarten because they're going to be confident. They're going to be reading already. They're going to be writing. They're going to be doing some basic math. And they're going to go into the classroom with a good foundation so that they can continue learning and building upon that foundation. So if you would like to get access to the course, I'm going to link it below. It's such a great course because it brings all of the materials that you're going to need. Everything is in the course, all of the books, the standards checklist, the posters, the educational posters you saw in here, everything is there. And I know a lot of you have actually purchased the books through Amazon because they are available on Amazon as well. So I'll link that below if you'd like the actual hardcover books. But I really recommend the preschool course because it really walks you through and it shows you on how to teach reading, writing, and math, breaking it down with hands-on activities. And it's going to show some of my kids when they were really, really small in the videos. So it's really, really sweet memory that I have creating that preschool course many years ago. So I'm going to link the course below. A lot of my products are actually on sale now. All of my Teachers Pay Teachers products are on sale. They are going to be on sale for the next 3 days. A lot of my courses are like 50% off as well. So please take advantage of my courses. I have a lot of great courses. And I'm going to link all of the links below. Let me know if you'd like to see more preschool videos. Maybe I can do more activities. I could bring back the shelf. I'm doing preschool at home now with my foster child, and she's learning how to read and how to do all these basic things. So it's brought me back to a 6th child going through preschool here in my home, and is kind of like reviving everything for me. So I would love to share that with you. If you give me a thumbs up and you let me know you want to see preschool videos, I will make more of those coming up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.